Do we do it? We're live!
We are live.
To talk about dead people. Woo!
So, what did you say? Talk about dead people?
We're live to talk about dead things.
Dead things or creations, which is another way to go with entities. But we kind of advertise this as talking about dead things. For sure. Welcome, everybody. I'm Amy Williams, and I am so delighted. This is the first time that this conglomeration of wizardesses, or whatever we want to call ourselves, has we found our new group name.
Very cool.
I got the group changed to that, by the way.
Awesome.
I just made that up. That this conglomeration has been together on a live. So we are so delighted to be here. And these are my friends well, we'll find out if you guys see the screen the same as I do. I see Rachel next to me and Nicole lifting us both up.
Here, I'll hold it.
There you go. And so from coward to empowered is the title for tonight. And just a little tiny bit of background. The three of us have met because we are all something called CFMWs, which is a term of someone who has done a certain amount of access consciousness and classes and certifications. We're all access bars facilitators. And we also have all really noticed how embracing the tools that you can use, as Nicole so brilliantly said in the ad for this class, tools for ghouls. this intro really. But the tools of access consciousness and how we can use them to play with the energies that we encounter that may not be of this world, as we call it, but truly are of this world, as we have discovered. And so I'll just tell a tiny brief background and then invite these ladies to talk. I was thinking about coward because it's not a word that is really in my reality in terms of myself. And I realized that it's highly likely that part of when I shut down my awareness of entities and beings and spirits, and we will use a lot of different names for beings without bodies, was connected to being afraid. And I started reading, I'm a big reader. I started reading Stephen King in my high school years and got really scared. And earlier as a child, my family went to the drive-in theater and went to Dracula. And in college, at least, I was still sleeping with a sheet up to my neck. But at my childhood home, there were 4 bedrooms upstairs. I had to go up a stairway. And then when I got off the stairway, I had to go down a long hall to my bedroom. But there were 2 doors right next to the stairway. And so that long hall, I was always kind of like, what's coming after me? So that was my coward years. And I would just tag on to that one of my favorite things about the body of work of access consciousness is its tagline, which is empowering people to know that they know. And it has really been a journey of discovery of, oh, what am I aware of? What do I know about this? And continuously asking to look for more awareness and energy and information about that. So I open it up to you ladies about, when you might have been a coward or started to feel empowered. Okay. Let's go.
Rachel, you want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Yeah. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, we both scissored. You go. I want to hear you.
Okay, I'll go. So I had experienced kind of like the coward reality of it, not from like shying away, but from cowering away from the awareness that I knew I had, that I didn't want to have because I could not share it with anybody else. And for a multitude of reasons, I, growing up, would see spirits or see entities around the house. And the only person I could really confide in would be my mom. And I wouldn't tell anybody else. And I made it a huge wrongness of me. And because of that, I suffered quite a bit. And I wouldn't even have any sort of way of navigating through that or receiving any way that I could because of how much judgment I was in of myself because of that, because of what I was aware of, and how afraid I was. And using the tools of access consciousness and everything I've chosen has led me now to a place to having these awarenesses that I do have and actually being able to create greater for myself and other people who are having similar experiences, who have children who are having similar experiences, and it has completely changed my life.
Woo!
Yay.
Amazing. I love that.
Mhm.
For me, like I was always fascinated with the horror behind things. And really like not aware that everyone else wasn't aware of the things that I was aware of. And then like really like diving into how much I could freak myself out with all the scary movies. Like, and just there's no tools in there. There's no pragmatics. There's no like, well, by the way, you could ask a question. And didn't really know what to do with my awareness either until I came in contact with the Talk to the Entities tools and sessions, and really like having people, well, to ask questions with me about it and really share their awareness, and just more conversation about that's real life and it doesn't have to be hard, and you have tools to deal with stuff that you're aware of. And so it's been really cool. I had a lot of experience with, well, ghosts. They talk about death a lot. I mean, because they are, and sometimes they don't realize it, but they'll communicate a lot of that. And so, like, dealing with some of my entity symptoms, which will or signs, I guess, not symptoms, but sometimes they appear as such. Um, so they would communicate to me in a way that was kind of like, if you don't realize that's what it is, you think it's you. You think it's your thoughts. You think it's your body freaking out. And without the tools of question and clearing and communicating, I didn't know what to do with it. And so I'm just super grateful to have like more ways to deal with the stuff that I'm aware of, rather than just freaking out or freaking myself out or avoiding it or not doing anything with it or not knowing what to do. So it's just really awesome.
Well, I love what you said, and I'm curious about it. And I
Mhm.
want to talk a little bit about my early awareness because I think that's the key here is to really let people know that what we're talking about is awareness, and we all have it. We all
Mhm.
have it. But I'm really curious, Nicole, about what you said about having. You said something like having fun freaking myself out. Is that
Yeah, because I am
like
an
watching the
extremist of
scariest thing
sorts. Like, I'd really be like, oh, every scary movie, I'll watch it to see how scared I can get of things. And then I was like, and then, but that's not question. That's not pragmatic. That's like that lockup almost is what I'm perceiving now, is like this,
Do you think
so.
there's some sort of like excitement or adrenaline? Because they say that fear and excitement are the same chemical dump. Do you think that
Mhm.
there's some kind of like addiction to having that?
That is interesting. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, because I
Wow. Because
have had zero interest in any scary movie. Like if I'm doing something, it's like suspense because it's, you're figuring out what's gonna happen next. But just for the sake of like scare myself, I am just not interested.
oh, that's funny. Well, and I wonder if it was just like at the time, like that was the little crack open of a conversation of what people can experience with entity stuff. And
Mm,
even though it was not the most productive doorway, hey,
Yeah.
it was one.
yeah,
And what else is possible now with more tools and resources
yeah,
available?
Mhm.
You don't have to watch
yeah.
scary movies over and over and over again and think you're getting somewhere. So that's
um, so what about you, Rach? How has that shown up for you? I mean, did you continue to be freaked out until you found these tools?
No, I the only time I was ever really freaked out is when I would like cower from it or like have the experiences that Nicole was saying. The only time that I really, really would struggle is when I was not truly being me and just having the awareness. Really, the only thing that anybody could choose right now to get out of that fear is one, asking a question, and then two, just acknowledging that you are actually aware and it's not going to be like anything this reality is probably going to tell you. It's not this
Mhm.
big, huge, scary, significant thing. And for me,
Like
I
Hollywood
have,
is what you're
yeah,
saying. Like the
yeah,
Hollywoodizing of the spirit world is Hollywood.
yeah. It's not anything
Not
like,
real life. Not
not
real
at
life.
all.
Okay, that's
No.
clear. Okay.
Um,
And it doesn't work very well here
no, it
either.
does not work very well. And my own unique experience, I have always just been so dynamically aware. I could never really shy away from that. And I see every day people who are also that aware and aren't acknowledging it the way that I have. And
Mhm.
that's what I mean, like really just acknowledge that you are aware. Like as we were talking about having symptoms, quote unquote, of entity awareness, I recently was with somebody and this person kept talking about his dead best friend, kept talking about, would not stop talking about him. And I'm just sitting here and I turn my awareness to this being, to this entity, to his dead best friend, and could perceive him. And so
Uh-huh.
I'm acknowledging that I'm aware of this dead person. And this person that I'm communicating with who's living, who's talking about the dead person, is also aware. He just doesn't know it. And his symptom would be sitting here rattling, telling me all these stories about him, how much he misses him, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't say anything to him. I didn't invite him to a different possibility because the door wasn't open to do that at the time. But he was aware. He just doesn't know he is.
Yeah.
And so, how many people are aware of ghosts, of spirits, of their loved ones, and just aren't acknowledging it?
And think it's
And
Well,
them. Like that's the most profound thing. Like
yeah,
you are not your awareness, you are aware. Like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's just a really, really different thing, not to buy into everything that you're
yeah,
aware of, but really just asking questions and having tools to be
yeah,
effective with it.
exactly. Like a
and
great question to ask would be, what am I aware of?
Mm-hmm.
And um, am I aware of an entity? Like really separate, separate yourself from the sensation or whatever's occurring to you that you think might be an entity, and then perceive it,
Mm-hmm.
look at it, like sense it. What is this? Is this mine? Like a lot of people aren't as stupid as they really think they are, and they're more aware than they think they are. And what else is possible with just those first couple steps of like
Mm-hmm.
really looking at, what am I aware of here that I'm not supposed to be, or that is supposed to be significant, which kills your
Exactly.
awareness or
Yeah.
makes it really difficult to have those kinds of awarenesses,
Mm-hmm.
you
well,
know?
and if you go into the fear, you've put up a barrier and
Mm-hmm.
blocked it, and the chances of you getting aware are very, very small. But one of the things that when I first started playing with this, from this, as you have brought this word into our awareness, this very pragmatic way of the world exists, every culture believes in ghosts. A lot of people like to say it's mumbo jumbo, but every culture in the world has their things about ghosts and ancestors and things like
Mhm.
that. Um, and that when you perceive someone who you know that has passed, or when you all of a sudden get sad, there's a really
Mm-hmm.
good chance that that being has popped in to say hi and check on you. And so if you have that tiny bit of knowledge, what if you could just go, "Oh, wait a minute. I heard once that if you get sad about something, maybe it's because you're perceiving that being." And if you just ask, "Hi, are you here?" And I had that a few years ago with my dad. I was playing pickleball and I was in a gym, and that was his jam. He was an athletic director, all kinds of sports in his, lots of sports balling in his world and in our home. And I just went, "Oh, hi." He didn't have much to say. he didn't talk much when he was alive. And, and then not long ago, knowing Rachel has a different kind of awareness than I do, one time we were in conversation and I had gotten this awareness that in some way my dad had moved on, whatever that really means. I don't
Mhm.
claim to be an expert in what happens on the other side.
Afterlifeology.
Souls go to different places, right? But I got that awareness really strong, and Rach and I had been talking months before and about that. She'd been doing some actual readings, which was an interesting
Mhm.
kind of thing. But then I said, "Hey, Rach, by the way, I got this hit that my dad moved on." She goes, "Oh yeah, I thought I told you that. I got that too a while back." And I was like, "No, you didn't. But how cool is it that I got it now and you got
Well, and that's the coolest thing too about using the tools of question and unlocking your own awareness, because all three of us, three totally different
it?"
uh,
Yeah.
ways to perceive things, and so like getting to that space of, oh, what do I know about this, and allowing yourself to have more of that capacity is just awesome. So
Well, and to bring back what you said earlier, I want to get into this a little more when we do the full call that we're doing. So you want
mhm,
to speak with spooks on Monday the 30th at 6:30. You can go to amywilliams.us and sign up for it on the classes page, and we'll all be there. We'll all be going deeper into how to use the things we're calling the tools. Um, but when I was preparing for this, one of the things that really popped for me, because I was looking at my awareness and the way that all three of us have communicated about our awareness, which is so different,
mhm,
and the ways we experience things and the way we notice things. And I think we do a really great job of like just honoring that each other has really different awareness.
mhm.
And but you said the things that Shannon O'Hara, who we've all studied a lot with, and she's got a great book called Talk to the Entities. You should all get
That's
it.
wonderful. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and so what Shannon talks about, those three, and I think there's been a fourth that I can't think of lately, but clearing, communicating, and receiving.
Cooperation's the next one.
Cooperating.
New
It's
one,
Yeah.
just so
cooperation.
exciting
I
to be
Yeah.
love
able to
it.
work
Another
with
T.
things that are there,
Yeah.
like, and acknowledge that. So
Yeah.
yeah, whole
And
new
what
one.
I realized for me, that clearing has been my main jam.
Yeah,
Like, and so ease filled for me
yeah.
to just deal with it and
Mhm.
clear it. Like if and usually it's in terms of a session with somebody else. And of course, then you use it with yourself and with spaces or animals
For
or,
sure.
you know, things at the window of a child's room or
Mhm.
something like
Dead
that.
end signs.
Someone's
That
not
seems to be a thing in my life. Yeah,
dead
it
end
says dead.
signs. Tell me more. Tell us more.
Oh, I've just noticed, like, there seems to be, like, dead end, like, alleyway, there's the dead end sign. For some reason, I seem to be aware of, like, they just like to hang out there, like it's a bus stop, it says dead. I don't know, it's funny. Like,
You
that's
think it's their
so
bus stop?
yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm dead, it's the end, that's what the sign says," but then they don't really know what to do with themselves after. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just play, and it's just
Absolutely.
playing with your awareness and, like, "Oh, are there entities here? Can I clear
Yeah.
them? Oh, yes, let's." So
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have to make it a big significant thing and say,
no.
"Oh, I did this. Oh, that was kinda
Yeah.
cool. Oh, I did this. Oh, I
Unless
did
it's fun for you to do opera. And
this." Oh, that's funny. Entity stuff to handle, which is really
mhm,
appropriate, actually. Dead
mhm.
composers, you know? Their their energy moves the entities they create live on and on and on.
Mhm, yeah. But yeah, clearing and really honing in on your awareness is a step along the way to creating with them and cooperating with
Mhm.
them too. So I'm really excited to see where we can go with the intro on, was it Monday? I should probably
Monday
know
the
since I'm
30th, because we did
yeah.
it before the 31st and we made the price just
Yes.
for fun. We made it 30, 10, no, 31, 10, 31, 10. I can't remember.
Yeah. It's for dyslexics, but very difficult for us dyslexics to figure out. So
Six.
just Click on the link and then you'll know.
Yeah, right. Oh, goodness. But I just wanted to, for some reason, I wanted to share a thing about when I was a kid. So, what I discovered, probably 10 or 13 years ago, when I found the tools of access consciousness, and this conversation came into my awareness, that sometimes energies that show up in people's bodies, in people's lives, whatever, are just another energy that is clearable. It shows up as a block or a pain or sometimes a mental disorder, a voice in your head sometimes is some, and we can get into that more on Monday. But I believe that I had dynamically shut it down, but what I recall really clearly, other than perceiving something, which later as an adult, after I had the tools, I went back and looked at what was in my attic, and there was something there. But I remember really clearly these places in my hometown where they just felt dark.
Yeah.
All beings and entities aren't dark, they aren't scary, but these did. It just didn't feel good to me. And so when I was grown up and I had different tools, I went back and looked at that and just acknowledged, wow, I was a really freaking aware kid. I knew there was something there. I just didn't know what, and I didn't have any frame of reference for it. And how many that are listening to this have something like, oh, we just got a comment, left a Haitian voodoo shop that felt the same way. Yeah. And that is, there are energies that are darker.
Yeah.
There are energies that are lighter.
It's so cool too, just to acknowledge I'm aware. This is weird. Yeah. I can leave or they can leave and we can see what works here. And it's just, wow, different world.
Yeah, for sure. A whole new world. Yeah. So, yeah, we will dive into a whole bunch more. This was a great intro, actually, to, hey, there's stuff. Don't make yourself wrong if you perceive it. Ask a question. Maybe dead grandma really is there, or dead dad in the gym, or people walking around your house when you're a kid. And if there is a voice in your head, you can tell it to get out of your head. You can definitely get into a lot more with that on Monday.
Yeah.
Because you truly, and this is, I think the takeaway is, to be empowered is you saying, I've got this. There is no being more potent or powerful than me. I have got this. Did you have the cowardly lion on one of the?
I did. Well, yeah, I'll have to. There's a part in the movie with the cowardly lion where he's like, "I do believe in spooks," and so I found the gift that did that. It was so perfect. But yeah, you believe in spooks, know they exist, and you don't have to be afraid of them. You have tools for goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up, Rach?
No.
Well, I think we delivered a lot of things to ping in people's universe. If you see ghosts, you're not wrong. If you hear ghosts, and it isn't always ghosts, sometimes it's just beings, and sometimes they're just confused, and sometimes they're just annoying, and sometimes they can contribute.
They're just like all of us. We can do all of those things. They just don't have bodies.
And there's a lot of them, and you don't have to let them be in your whole house.
And you don't have to be at the effect of something that is actually a gift and something that you can work with and play with in your life and create greater. So that's where the empowerment piece comes in for me too.
Yay. All right. Well, thanks everybody who watched, and I hope some people tune in on Monday, and I can't wait to see who brings questions. Who brings things that they would really love to look at and change and get more information about and empower themselves with. Because truly, we named it because it was super fun. So y'all want to speak with spooks. That's how I read that.
I love that. That's
good. I got to do it again. It's really not just about like, oh, you're going to learn to speak with the other side. We kind of already told you can, and you have permission. You didn't need it from us. So it's about a lot more than that. If there's something that's annoying you and you think it's the spirit world, sometimes pains that won't go away are the spirit world. We have tools for that. We have tools for so many things. So
it's so cool. It's just awesome.
Yep, amywilliams.us classes, and you will get all 3 of us. Hope to see
Yay.
you Monday.
Yes.
Bye.